Hi, in this video I will show you how to find good decent hotels that are on a budget. As you know, whenever I go on travel, I try to find the best hotel in the area that are on a budget. Now of course, you don't want to find just any cheap hotels, as that could mean potentially getting a hotel with dirty rooms, bed bugs, or an unsafe area. The objective here is to find the best hotel that doesn't have any of those problems. So the first thing you want to do is go to a hotel booking engine. I'm going to use hotels.com, as I found that website to be pretty easy to use and is it overall easy to navigate. You can use booking.com or any other hotel searching website as you wish, as the concept I'm going to show you here is relatively similar for other websites. First, go ahead and put in the city that you want to go to. I'm just going to put in Los Angeles. Then put in your check-in and check-out date. Just going to go with an arbitrary date on the 18th and checking out on the 21st. For the number of rooms, you can put in the number of rooms and the amount of people you want. Go ahead and click on search. Now, when the search result come up, what you'll see is that there's going to be a lot of different hotels that are going to pop up, which can be pretty overwhelming. How do you know which one to choose? So the first thing that you need to do is use the filters on the left side. This is the key important piece. The first thing I always filter out is the guest rating. I always filter the guest rating for a score of 3.5 to 5. This pretty much means that all hotels that have a lower score than 3.5 will not be shown in our result. This means that you will be seeing hotels that are relatively good in terms of reviews based on what users have given them. This means that a good hotel would have a good score. Another filter that I would do is to check the 2-star and the 3-star hotel. Now, this is really up to you on how many stars you want a hotel to be. I typically choose 2 or 3-star hotel because they typically are decent and are for the lowest price. Now, for 2 stars, you could be getting motels such as Super 8 or Motel 6 and other similar type of hotels. But the key here is that not all Super 8 are the same, right? So different motels have different quality. So by using the guest rating filter along with this, you might be getting some motels in your search result, but typically those motels should be decent or at least clean to stay in. Now, if you're not comfortable with that, you can always uncheck the 2-star and just leave the 3-star hotel in the result. Of course, that would mean the hotel price could be a little higher for you. Another filter that I would do is the price filter. Typically in the US, for any major city, I try to choose a hotel that are less than $80 per night. So that's what I'm going to do here. Now, if you want something nicer, you can always increase the price range, and that is completely up to you. But I found that I can still find a decent room for less than $80 in most cities. Now, the final filter we're going to do is on the right side for pricing. Choose to sort by low to high. This will show you all the results in low to high in terms of price. So as you can see here, the hotels have now been greatly narrowed down to what we've seen earlier, but there's still a lot of hotel choices that we can have. So a good way to start the search is just pretty much clicking through each of the hotel. Now notice here for the score. Typically you want a hotel that has a score of 3.5 or higher. Even better is 4.0 or higher. And judge it based on the number of reviews it has. So for example, you can see here that this hotel has a score of 3.5 with over 1,300 reviews. Whereas this one here, Linwood, has a score of 3.6 with 268 reviews. So if given the choice, I would probably choose the one with the more number of guest reviews. Now of course that also depends on the location of the hotel, which we'll discuss soon. But other than that, as long as the hotel has over a couple hundred reviews with the good score, you should be good with those hotels. They're not going to be bad hotels for the most part. This pretty much almost guarantee that these hotels are decent, clean, and in a relatively safe area. Now from here you can just click on the hotel name and kind of see what the hotel look like. I would just click on a different one. You can look at the pictures to see the inside, see if it's something you like, or if you don't like it, you can look for something else. Now the key here is the map on the right side. If you click on see map, you can see where the location of the hotel is relatively to where it is. So as you can see here, if you zoom out, you see the hotel listed right here, Goodnight Buena Vista Park. And if you zoom out even further, you'll see how far it is to Los Angeles downtown. Now, for any city, when you look at the map, typically the downtown area or the main area will usually have a lot of highways and road coming into it. So you can see here there's a lot of roads coming into this, and then plus it also said downtown. So you know this is a downtown area. What you can also do is, on the right side, click on the key. If you uncheck everything and just leave the landmark behind, you'll see that there's a lot of landmarks throughout. Typically, downtown area also has a lot of landmarks in one condensed area. So as you can see here, there's a lot of landmarks also in this clump area. So you can kind of tell that's kind of downtown area. So, for example, with this hotel, where we were at earlier, I'm going to zoom in. And then, so you can see here, this is the hotel. You can close the map and say I want to know how far this hotel is from the Los Angeles, Walk of Fame, right? So what you can do here is highlight the address, press Control C to copy, or just copy, and then open up a Google Maps, and then search for that hotel in Google Maps. You can see here it'll pop up within Google Maps. Now you can do a direction search, where the starting point you can type in such as Hollywood, Los Angeles, right? So let's see how far this is from Hollywood. So you can see here Google will tell you that this hotel is about 50 minutes away from Hollywood. Of course, that's because with the current traffic right now, based on the time you're searching at. But you can see relatively how far you're looking at from this hotel to a certain site that you want to go to. Now you can go back to that hotel and go look at other hotels. For example, I'm going to click on the next one, Santa Clarita Hotel. Go ahead and view the pictures like I said earlier. See, this one looks a lot nicer. Then click on the C map. Similar concept. You can see the hotel is located here. Just zoom out a little bit and see where it's at. And same thing, you can do a address search to see how far it is from the downtown. So that's one way to do it, to look and find a hotel. Now another way that I typically do is to use the map search. If you click on back to the main screen where all the hotels are being listed, go ahead and click on View on Map. When you view on the map, you see all the hotels listed within that area on the map. Now the first thing you need to do is click on the blue key option on the right and uncheck all the yellow and red hotels, which are hotels that does not match our criteria. So now you can still see that there's only a couple, a lot less hotels are showing up now. But you can click on each one and you can kind of see what the price is and how much it costs. Now say you want a hotel that's near Los Angeles downtown right here. You can always just view hotel and just see, for example, this Floral Inn. This is a good one here. Pretty much anything that shows up on the screen should be good based on how far you want it. Now, of course, the closer the hotel is to downtown area, the more pricey it could be. So, but because we already filtered down hotels to only show a certain price range, all of the hotels you see here will match that criteria. So don't hesitate to look at hotels that are a little bit further from the downtown area. Sometimes those hotels could be better because they'll have a nicer parking lot, and typically those hotels could be nicer because it's farther away from downtown. So once you find the hotel you want, you can always click on it and then view it from the map. View it from there. Now notice that when you're about to say you're going to go and book this Linwood Century Travel Lodge hotel, when you scroll down, you'll see a lot of different options. Of course, you always want to book at the price that it has a free cancellation, meaning that you can cancel the hotel later on. The non-refundable rate is always cheaper, but I typically don't recommend it. Now keep in mind for things such as free Wi-Fi and breakfast and free parking to display on this page. Oftentimes hotels that are near downtown might not have free parking, so take that into consideration. For hotels that are farther away, typically will have free parking. So once you've seen the room you like, you can click on the room and see, and if you're ready to book, you can go ahead and click on Book. Now, if you want to look at other hotels, you can always go back and look at the options you have, whether using the list view or the map view. Now, notice on the listing view, another thing to keep in mind is that the price they give you, make sure that you see the word free cancellation right under it. That means that is the accurate price that should be displayed. Meaning that, for example, this room is $56, and at that price, you still have free cancellation if you change your mind. Whereas if you scroll down to Linwood right here, it's listed at $64, but it doesn't have the word free cancellation, which typically means that the $64 room is a non-refundable rate. And if you want to book a refundable room rate, it's going to be a little higher. In this case, $75. So going through this list, you can kind of search around, see what you like, see what area it is in, and decide from there. For example, this one right here has a score of 4.0, which is even higher than other hotels. So typically I would look at those. Of course, I would click on the map to see where it's located, and depending on how far it is. For example, this one is here, and LA downtown is all the way up here. So this might be a little far. So you can do a Google Map search of the hotel address to determine if you want that room or not. But yes, pretty much once you decide to do that, you can just pretty much choose any of the rooms that you think is best and go ahead and book it. Alright, that's all I have for this tutorial right here. If you're looking for how to book international hotels, I'm going to have a separate video for showing you how to do that. I hope you enjoy, and please go ahead and share with your family and friends if you find this helpful. Thank you.